Arsenal suffer huge injury blow ahead of Manchester United clash. Arsenal have been dealt a major injury setback ahead of their highly anticipated Premier League showdown with Manchester United, with Kai Havertz suffering another concerning reaction to his long-term knee problem. The setback comes at a critical point in the season, as Mikel Arteta's side sits 7 points clear at the top of the table after 22 matches and look to maintain momentum in a tightly contested title race. The 26-year-old German forward has endured a frustrating campaign plagued by knee issues. Havertz has not started a competitive match since Arsenal's opening day victory over Manchester United on August 17, 2025, where he initially suffered the injury that later required surgery. While his rehabilitation had been progressing positively, hopes of a full return have once again been delayed. In November, Havertz was reportedly just days away from rejoining the matchday squad when he sustained ligament damage in the same knee during final training sessions, forcing Arsenal to reset his recovery program. Although recent images shared by the club showed Havertz training in the gym and working alongside teammates in late January, his knee has reacted again in recent weeks. As a result, Arsenal's medical staff are carefully managing his workload to avoid long-term complications. Havertz was named in an Arsenal squad for the first time since August in the December 30th win over Aston Villa, but was subsequently left out of league matches against Bournemouth and Liverpool. His involvement has been limited to brief cameos: 21 minutes against Portsmouth in the FA Cup on January 11th, and just 8 minutes in the Carabao Cup semi-final first leg versus Chelsea on January 15th. Despite being named on the bench for the Champions League clash with Inter Milan on January 21st, he did not feature. Encouragingly, Havertz showed flashes of his quality against Portsmouth, stretching the defense and linking play effectively despite clearly lacking full sharpness. Arsenal remained patient, prioritizing his long-term fitness over short-term gains, with scans and training responses set to determine the next steps. Meanwhile, Manchester United are also dealing with injury concerns of their own. Centre-back Matthijs de Ligt and striker Joshua Zirkzee are both doubts ahead of the clash, potentially weakening Erik ten Hag's options at both ends of the pitch. With key players sidelined on both sides, squad depth and tactical flexibility could prove decisive. As Arsenal chase their first league title in over 20 years, managing Havertz's recovery carefully while navigating crucial fixtures like Manchester United will be vital to sustaining their title push. Arsenal star to cost no more than £17 million is Ajax. Consider double swoop after Romano update. Arsenal could be set for a busy period of outgoing transfers, with Ajax reportedly considering a double swoop for Gunners players following confirmation of an agreement for Oleksandr Zinchenko. Meanwhile, Gabriel Jesus has emerged as a potential bargain option for European heavyweights AC Milan and Juventus. Mikel Arteta's side are enjoying an outstanding campaign and appear well-placed to finally end their long-standing trophy drought. Arsenal sit clear at the top of the Premier League table, 7 points ahead of their nearest challengers, while also remaining unbeaten in the Champions League group stages and progressing to the Carabao Cup semi-finals. Much of this success has been driven by the club's excellent recruitment in recent seasons, capped off by a £250 million investment last summer that many believe completed the squad. With the core of the team now settled, Arsenal's focus is shifting towards streamlining their squad rather than major additions. Highly rated youngster Ethan Nwaneri is close to securing a loan move to Marseille, while Zinchenko is on the verge of completing a switch to Ajax after a difficult loan spell at Nottingham Forest. Transfer expert Fabrizio Romano confirmed earlier this week that Arsenal and Ajax have reached a verbal agreement for Zinchenko. Posting on X, Romano stated that the deal will be a loan until June, with Ajax covering the player's wages and the Ukrainian set to undergo medical tests in Amsterdam. Ajax's interest in Arsenal players may not stop there. According to Dutch outlet De Telegraaf, the Eredivisie giants are also considering a move for Christian Norgard. The Danish midfielder is among several options Ajax are evaluating as they look to strengthen their defensive midfield, alongside Manuel Ugarte, Wataru Endo, and former West Ham midfielder Edson Alvarez. Elsewhere, Gabriel Jesus has become the subject of growing transfer speculation, despite enjoying a resurgence in form. The Brazilian striker scored twice against Inter Milan in the Champions League and has recently outperformed Victor Gykores, in Arteta's system. However, with his contract set to expire in 2027, Italian outlet Calciomercato reports that both AC Milan and Juventus are monitoring his situation. The report claims Jesus could be available for no more than 20 million euros, roughly 17 million pounds, making him an attractive option for the Serie A giants. While Arsenal are expected to open talks over a new contract given his importance to the team, interest from Europe could test their resolve in the coming months. Arsenal have reportedly been told that a bid of around £21 million would be enough to seal a stunning January move for highly rated Brazilian midfielder Breno Bidon, a player already being dubbed the Brazilian Pedri due to his technical quality and maturity beyond his years. According to ESPN Brazil, Bidon's current club Corinthians have set their asking price at $150 million, a figure that translates to roughly £21 million, $28 million, as interest from Europe continues to grow. Arsenal are understood to be among the clubs most actively monitoring the situation, with offers expected to arrive before the February 2nd transfer deadline. Mikel Arteta has made no secret of his admiration for technically gifted midfielders, and Bidon fits the profile Arsenal have increasingly targeted in recent windows. Despite being just 20 years old, the Brazil under-20 international is already a key figure at Corinthians and has amassed an impressive 103 senior appearances, underlining his experience at first-team level. He has also started the new season brightly, registering a goal in his opening 3 matches. Bidon's style of play has earned him glowing comparisons in South America. Comfortable operating as a deep-lying playmaker or advanced midfielder, he is praised for his composure in possession, close control, and ability to dictate tempo. Traits that have prompted fans and analysts to liken him to Barcelona and Spain star Pedri. A senior Brazil call-up is also believed to be on the horizon if his development continues on its current trajectory. Arsenal's interest in Bidon is not new. The Gunners were first linked with him in February last year, but reports suggest their pursuit has intensified this month. On January 15th, it emerged that Arsenal had made direct contact with Corinthians officials to discuss the framework of a potential deal, signaling a serious intent to finally complete a long-term transfer mission. The move would further strengthen Arsenal's already strong Brazilian contingent, which includes Gabriel Magalhães, Gabriel Martinelli, and Gabriel Jesus. Elsewhere, Arsenal's January plans may not stop there. Transfer correspondent Fraser Fletcher has also confirmed Arteta's interest in Real Madrid defender Victor Valdepeñas, as the Gunners explore multiple avenues to reinforce the squad. Olympique Marseille have stepped up their interest in Arsenal wonderkid Ethan Nwaneri by submitting an official bid to sign the highly rated teenager on loan. The French club sent a formal proposal overnight, offering a 6-month deal that includes full salary coverage and a loan fee believed to be in the region of 3 to 4 million euros. Nwaneri is understood to be keen on the move, with Marseille currently leading the race ahead of interest from several Italian clubs, as well as Premier League sides Crystal Palace and Bournemouth, as he looks for valuable first-team minutes. Ben White has emerged as a notable name to watch ahead of the January transfer window, with Everton reportedly monitoring the Arsenal defender as they seek to address ongoing issues at right-back. The Toffees are understood to be considering a season-long loan move, viewing White as an experienced and reliable option who could immediately strengthen their defensive unit. White has endured a frustrating 2025-26 campaign at Arsenal, having slipped down the pecking order under Mikel Arteta. The 28-year-old has made only a handful of appearances across competitions this season, managing 5 Premier League outings and registering 1 assist. With competition for places intense in North London, White's limited minutes have inevitably sparked speculation over his future, despite his long-term contract running until June 2028. Everton's interest is driven by necessity as much as opportunity. Defensive instability, particularly at right-back, has been a recurring problem for David Moyes' side this season. White's versatility, Premier League experience, and ability to play both centrally and out wide make him an appealing target as Everton look to stabilize their backline during the second half of the campaign. A move away from Arsenal could also have international implications for White. With the 2026 World Cup on the horizon, regular game time is increasingly important for players hoping to stay on England's radar. White has earned 4 senior caps so far, and consistent performances at club level could enhance his chances of forcing his way back into Gareth Southgate's plans, something several England hopefuls are prioritizing by seeking more minutes elsewhere. However, despite the growing interest, Arsenal's stance appears firm. According to reports from Football Insider and Football.London, the Gunners have no intention of allowing White to leave during the January window. While the club may be open to listening to offers in the region of £20 to £25 million, any potential sale would only be considered in the summer, when Arteta has more flexibility to reshape his squad. Although White is said to be frustrated by his reduced role, reports suggest he is not actively pushing for an exit and remains committed to Arsenal for the time being. Manchester City have also been loosely linked with the defender, further underlining his continued reputation within the Premier League. For now, Everton's interest appears to be one to watch rather than an imminent deal, with Arsenal holding the final say as the January window approaches. Gabriel Jesus has given Mikel Arteta a major selection headache. Mikel Arteta and his coaching staff will have returned from northern Italy with one pressing question dominating their thoughts. Has Gabriel Jesus now played his way back into Arsenal's starting 11 for Sunday's Premier League showdown with Manchester United? Arsenal's impressive 3-1 victory over Inter Milan at the San Siro not only strengthened their grip on first place in the Champions League group, sitting top with 21 points, 6 clear of second-placed Real Madrid, but also reignited the debate over who should lead the line domestically. Jesus was the standout performer on the night, scoring twice in what was his most influential display since returning from a long-term ACL injury. The Brazilian striker, now 28, had not scored a brace since December 2024 against Crystal Palace, with 11 months on the sidelines understandably disrupting his rhythm. Even in recent substitute appearances, Jesus had struggled to make a decisive impact, aside from a bright cameo against Aston Villa in December. That all changed against Inter, where he looked sharp, confident, and clinical. Arteta now faces a difficult call: whether to drop summer signing Victor Gykores, who has started every Premier League game this season despite a lack of goals. Complicating matters further, Gykores came off the bench to score Arsenal's third goal in Milan, underlining his continued value to the side. "We have been missing Gabby a lot," Arteta said after the match. "This performance will raise his confidence and the team's. Having different profiles in that position only makes us better. There are other factors in play too. Kai Havertz, an unused substitute against Inter, is still awaiting his first start since returning from knee surgery, adding another layer to Arteta's attacking puzzle." Jesus, meanwhile, exuded calm confidence throughout the week. Speaking ahead of the match, he made it clear he wants to stay at Arsenal beyond his current contract, which runs until 2027, and win trophies at the Emirates. While talks over a new deal have yet to begin, continued goals across Arsenal's 4 competitions would only enhance his standing. Arteta has shown before that strong European performances do not guarantee league starts, as seen with Noni Madueke earlier this season. However, after 2 consecutive Premier League draws, leaving out a striker brimming with confidence would be a bold decision. Gykores' off-the-ball movement remains crucial, but goals remain a striker's true currency. On current form, Gabriel Jesus has reminded everyone exactly what he brings, and why Arteta's decision for Sunday could define Arsenal's momentum going forward. Arsenal may now have a perfect opportunity to revive their long-standing interest in Arda Guler following Real Madrid's shock decision to sack Xabi Alonso, a development that could open the door for a major transfer move. The Gunners have tracked Guler since before his move to Spain, having first been linked with the attacking midfielder back in 2022, when he was emerging as one of Europe's most exciting young talents at Fenerbahce. Dubbed the Turkish Messi, after breaking into the first team at just 16, Guler ultimately chose to join Real Madrid in 2023, despite strong interest from several Premier League clubs, including Arsenal. His early months at the Bernabeu were disrupted by injury, delaying his debut, but Guler quickly showed his quality once fit. He finished the 2023-24 La Liga season with 6 goals in just 10 appearances, underlining his elite technical ability and composure in the final third. It was under Xabi Alonso, however, that the 20-year-old truly established himself as a first-team regular. During Alonso's short spell in charge, Guler was repeatedly trusted in high-profile matches, even being substituted for Luka Modric on multiple occasions at the Club World Cup. Those decisions were widely seen as a signal that Alonso viewed Guler as Modric's long-term successor in midfield. However, the manager's dismissal could significantly alter that trajectory. According to ESPN, Arsenal remain keen on the Turkey international and are monitoring the situation closely. While a summer move is viewed as more likely, the report claims the Gunners would be open to acting in the January transfer window should the right deal present itself. From Real Madrid's perspective, faith in Guler's development played a role in their decision not to pursue Arsenal midfielder Martin Zubimendi last summer. Guler has already nearly matched his total minutes from last season, registering 3 goals and 10 assists across 30 appearances in all competitions, highlighting his growing influence. Following Alonso's departure, Guler paid tribute to his former manager on Instagram, thanking him for his trust and guidance. Their mutual respect was clear, with Alonso previously comparing Guler's style to club legend Guti and Arsenal icon Mesut Ozil. With his quality, he's a mix between Ozil and Guti, Alonso said. He has that something special, that natural talent you can't teach. With uncertainty now surrounding his role in Madrid, Arsenal could finally be presented with the chance to secure one of Europe's most gifted young playmakers. Arteta may once again be forced to play a patient game in the January transfer window, with Arsenal traditionally reluctant to make major mid-season moves. History suggests the Gunners' hierarchy prefer calculated additions rather than reactive spending, with Jakub Kiwior, Jorginho, and Leandro Trossard among the few notable winter arrivals in recent years, even if that approach has tested Arteta's patience at times. This season, however, Arsenal find themselves in a very different position. A heavy spending spree in the summer of 2025 has left the squad well stocked across the pitch, a factor reflected in their commanding position at the top of both the Premier League and Champions League standings. As a result, January recruitment is expected to focus more on long-term planning than immediate necessity. One player who fits that profile is Rennes centre-back Jeremy Jacquet. The 20-year-old has been on Arsenal's radar for months, with sporting director Andrea Berta believed to be a keen admirer of the Frenchman. Despite Arsenal boasting one of Europe's most formidable defensive units, Jacquet is viewed as a high-potential option for the future. However, Arsenal now face stiff competition from Chelsea. The Blues are reportedly preparing to enter the race for Jacquet, and their ongoing defensive struggles could work in their favor. With a clearer path to regular first-team football at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea may hold the upper hand should Jacquet be forced to choose between the London rivals. Missing out on Jacquet would represent a blow for Arsenal, particularly with another defensive target slipping away. Crystal Palace captain Marc Guehi is now expected to sign for Manchester City in a £20 million deal, further narrowing Arteta's options should Arsenal decide to strengthen at the back. Despite potential setbacks, Arsenal may look to repeat a familiar transfer trick by exploiting uncertainty at one of Europe's elite clubs. Arda Guler has once again been linked with a move to the Emirates Stadium, with Fabrizio Romano previously confirming Arsenal's long-standing interest in the Turkish midfielder. Guler began the season as a key figure under Xabi Alonso at Real Madrid, but his influence has waned following a change in management. According to ESPN, the 19-year-old's role has diminished under new head coach Alvaro Arbeloa, reopening the door for Arsenal to make a calculated move, much like previous opportunistic deals that have paid off handsomely under Arteta. Arsenal are continuing to monitor several attacking options as they carefully navigate the January transfer window, with ESPN reporting that the club are very much aware of Real Madrid starlet Arda Guler. However, despite the awareness and admiration for the Turkish international, any serious move for Guler is far more likely to take place in the summer rather than this month. The Gunners have so far adopted a cautious approach in January, prioritizing squad management and potential outgoings over major new signings. Mikel Arteta and sporting director Andrea Berta are keen to avoid rushed decisions mid-season, particularly with limited market value available during the winter window. As things stand, there are no plans to make a significant attacking addition unless the right opportunity presents itself. While Guler remains a long-term target, Arsenal are also keen on Rodrigo Mendoza, who has emerged as another player being closely tracked by the club's recruitment team. Mendoza fits the profile Arsenal are looking for in terms of age, versatility, and technical ability. But discussions are still believed to be at an exploratory stage. Elsewhere, Juventus are confident of retaining Kenan Yildiz, despite growing interest from several Premier League clubs, including Arsenal. The Turkish forward has impressed in Serie A, but Juve expect him to remain in Turin for the foreseeable future, although a loan exit has not been entirely ruled out, depending on managerial decisions and squad depth in the second half of the season. Arsenal's January strategy also includes assessing the futures of players already at the club. Oleksandr Zinchenko's situation is one to watch, with discussions ongoing over a possible loan move. While the Ukrainian remains a valued member of Arteta's squad, Arsenal are open to temporary solutions that could benefit both player and club, especially given competition at left-back. With the club still competing across multiple fronts, Arsenal are choosing patience over panic in the transfer market. Any major attacking reinforcements are expected to be revisited in the summer, when options such as Guler could become more realistic. For now, the focus remains on managing the squad effectively and keeping long-term plans firmly on track. Arsenal could add £60 million player to squad and replace Gabriel Martinelli with next big transfer. Arsenal could be preparing for another major attacking reshuffle this summer, with reports suggesting the club may look to sign a new left winger who could ultimately replace Gabriel Martinelli. After opting against a move for Antoine Semenyo, Anthony Gordon has emerged as a potential alternative, with the Newcastle United star now being closely monitored by Mikel Arteta and sporting director Andrea Berta. The Gunners were active across most areas of the squad last summer, but a specialist addition on the left flank never materialized. While Eberechi and Noni Madueke are capable of operating on that side, both players are more comfortable in central areas and on the right respectively. Leandro Trossard's contract extension also removed the urgency for an immediate signing, and the Belgian has justified Arteta's faith, with an impressive return of 7 goals and 6 assists this season. That output has seen Trossard move ahead of Martinelli in the pecking order. However, with Trossard now 31, Arsenal are expected to target a long-term solution on the left wing. That could place Martinelli's future in doubt, especially if the club decides to make a marquee signing to elevate their attack to the next level. According to David Ornstein, Arsenal have been assessing several wide players, including Anthony Gordon, Nico Williams, Antoine Semenyo, and Rafael Leao, highlighting the importance of the position in their recruitment plans. Recent developments have narrowed Arsenal's options. Semenyo has completed a move to Manchester City, Williams has committed his future to Athletic Club with a new contract, and Leao is reportedly in discussions to extend his stay at AC Milan. That leaves Gordon as one of the most realistic targets heading into the summer window. The Daily Mail previously reported that Arsenal had expressed interest in Gordon, whose future at Newcastle is not entirely clear despite signing improved terms in late 2024. While his Premier League goal output has slowed, his 2 league goals this season both coming from penalties, he has impressed in the Champions League, scoring 5 times in 6 appearances. Even so, questions remain over his consistency in open play. CIS Football Observatory values Gordon at €68.9 million, just under £60 million, but Newcastle are likely to demand significantly more. With years remaining on his contract, Premier League experience and strong European performances, the Magpies are under little pressure to sell, even as they navigate profit and sustainability concerns. Although Gordon has been linked with Liverpool in the past and nearly joined them before the 2024-25 season, he has recently hinted that he is focused on Newcastle, suggesting an immediate exit is not on his mind. Still, if Arsenal push ahead with a big money move, Martinelli could find himself the casualty of their next statement signing. Arsenal reportedly remain keen on signing Juventus forward Kenan Yildiz, according to Team Talk, as the Gunners continue to monitor some of Europe's most exciting young attacking talents. The 20-year-old has enjoyed a rapid rise in Turin and is now regarded as one of Juventus's most important players despite his tender age. Yildiz first showcased his immense potential last season, registering 15 goal contributions across all competitions. He also caught the eye on the global stage during the Club World Cup, where he produced 4 goals and assists in as many matches, underlining his ability to perform in high-pressure environments. This campaign, however, has seen the Turkish international take his game to an even higher level. In 26 appearances in all competitions so far, Yildiz has already matched last season's output, playing a key role as Juventus push for a top-4 finish in Serie A. The Old Lady currently sit fourth in the table with 39 points from 20 matches, with Yildiz widely viewed as a talismanic figure in their attacking setup. Despite his importance to the team, speculation has emerged around Yildiz's long-term future due to ongoing contract issues. Juventus have yet to agree fresh terms with the youngster, even after the appointment of Marco Ottolini as the club's new sporting director. It had been expected that negotiations would progress swiftly, but no breakthrough has been reached so far, opening the door for interested clubs to circle. Arsenal are understood to be ready to take advantage of the situation, although they face strong competition. Liverpool, Chelsea, Manchester United, and Tottenham Hotspur are all credited with an interest, with Spurs reportedly keen on making a statement signing to inject excitement into their squad. Juventus, however, have no intention of selling Yildiz in January. The forward is valued at around £87 million and remains under contract until 2029, meaning any potential move would likely have to wait until next summer at the earliest. Primarily a left winger, Yildiz is also comfortable operating in advanced midfield roles, and has impressed in a left-sided cam position in Luciano Spalletti's 3-4-2-1 system. His club form has earned him a regular starting spot for Turkey, further enhancing his reputation. Should Arsenal eventually succeed in luring him to the Emirates, it would represent a major coup for Mikel Arteta's side.